Hello friends, welcome to Sales Heroes. My name is Raj and today we are going to discuss about sales objections. I am sure all of you must be interested in knowing how to manage sales objections. We as salespeople undergo these objections every day in our sales process. Somewhere or the other, some objection or the other, it's part of our sales life. So let's first understand what are sales objections and why really sales objections come our way. So if we have to understand what are sales objections, it is an expression of the sentiments of the buyer and the buyer organization that there is a resistance to accept your solution, your product or your services. It's an expression of sentiments that the solution being proposed by you or your organization is not meeting their criteria, or they are not really satisfied by what you have really offered to them. So we got to really understand now why this stage has come, why there are objections. Objections primarily happen because we haven't done our homework properly. If we had done our homework properly, then objections would not come. Let us also understand that objections is good. It's not always bad. Objections really helps you to understand the requirements much deeper, more elaborately from the buyer. And you are in a position to develop a rapport also during the objection handling process, and you are able to better qualify the opportunity. So objections are really good. We should not shy away from objections. We must be prepared to handle, to manage sales objections. Now, sales objections can be classified based on the type of objection into various categories. There are objections related to product. There are objections related to price. There are objections related to technology. There are objections related to organization, and for that matter, even for the salesperson. So objections can be classified in various categories, and there are many kinds of sales objections. However, for this particular session, we are going to cover the most common sales objections being faced today in everyday life by salespeople. If you want to understand more in detail about the sales objections and any other sales related subject, then you can buy my book called The Art and Science of Sales, and you can go in detail, understand in detail about various aspects of sales objections, sales closures, preparing for the first meeting, cold calling, etc., etc. So for the benefit of everybody, I have chosen 4 common sales objections. And these 4 common sales objections are as follows. Number 1, the first objection which we face every day is I am busy. I do not have time. The second objection, which is related to the first itself, is send me details and I will get back to you. The third most common objection which salespeople undergo is I have already deployed this solution, so I don't need. And the fourth most common objection which we face is your product is not having features 1, 2, 3, 4, and you will be given a list of features which your product is not having. So let's understand all these objections, how we can really manage these objections with our prospects, with our customers, and satisfy them and move forward in the sales process. So let's understand objection number 1. I do not have time. Why a person would say so, I do not have time? I think this is a very fundamental basic question. If we have not done our homework properly, if we have not understood what kind of challenges are being faced in the targeted customers organization, what are the solutions they are looking for, what are the pain points they are looking for, they are having in their organization, then we are not really showing the value which they are wanting to have. And unless you show a value proposition, nobody is going to invest their time with you. So it's important for a salesperson to do research, understand what are the kind of challenges, what are the kind of problems in that particular industry, what kind of solutions these organizations could be looking for, and do you have a reference case in a similar industry. If you have a reference case in the similar industry, it makes your point even more, better to propose a solution. So be prepared. Now coming to the objection, I do not have time. Now, a person cannot be busy forever. So what you must do is be ready before you start the call, before you engage with the prospect, be ready with your plans of suggesting alternate meeting times and dates. You must have already in hand. If a person is busy this week, you can always suggest, definitely, I appreciate your time and respect your time. I would be sharing with you a brief summary of the solution that we want to propose to your organization. We have implemented this solution in your kind of similar industries, and they have benefited in terms of productivity enhancement, quality of life, etc., etc. And we want to help and support your organization in having those benefits as well. However, it would be good if I can come over and explain to you some of these highlights of our solution in person. So how about next week? If you are busy this week, can we catch up next week? Can we catch up subsequent to that week? Propose a date and time. You will get one of the time slots, because a person cannot be busy. What is important is continue the dialogue, show a value proposition, show them that you want to really help that organization and hence you want to meet. You will get time. Don't disconnect, don't drop the ball, continue the engagement. That's very important. Let's come to objection number 2, and that is send me details. Yes, you can always send details, but you have to tie it with a meeting. You have to tie the whole process so that you get a face-to-face meeting to take your value proposition forward. So it's good, acknowledge, sir, I understand you are busy. I understand and appreciate. However, I will definitely send you a brief summary of what our solution is like. I will also mention some of the reference cases which we have done and how they have benefited. However, I want to come in person and explain you the same and give you more details about the solution. So propose a time again. So it is similar to objection 1, and both are correlated. Objection 1 and objection 2 are correlated. It's in a way one single objection only. However, they can be interpreted in two different forms, two different ways. Suggest a time, send them a value proposition, not very long, summary of the value proposition, highlighting the benefits. Don't make it too messy. Keep it simple. Let's move on now to objection number 3. I have already deployed the solution from other vendor. Very good. That's very nice that you have already implemented a solution. I really appreciate your foresight in doing so. However, can I have some details of the solution which you have deployed? Try to find some details of the solution. What are the pain points it is addressing? What are the benefits this organization is drawing out of the solution? Try to get more details. Engage into a dialogue with the customer, and it is quite possible that you might land into a situation which gives you a way for selling your product, filling some of the gaps which are still existing, or it is also quite possible that there may not be an opportunity immediately. So it's worthwhile waiting for some time, continuing the dialogue with this prospect and keeping them in your target list to address them in next 6 months time or 8 months time, or even lesser time, 3 months time. You will get an opportunity once you have understood what is deployed, what are the pain points the actual solution was taking care of, what are the benefits it's delivering after deployment, and is it really meeting the criteria of pain points and benefits. Objection number 4. Your solution does not have feature 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Now it's very important. Okay, first understand, we do not sell features, we do not sell product. What we are selling is solution. What we are selling is value proposition. That must be on top of your mind. Don't get confused with features, because the competition has done so and probably given them a list of features which are not existing in your product but are existing in their product. Hence, they are trying to manage the competition in a different way. So important point for us is, what are the pain points? Go through the pain points very clearly, understand them, hear the prospect patiently, and have an affirmation of what you have understood. Once you have understood the pain points, comes the solution. Now, you are selling the solution, not features. Now, understand something very important. Are those features really required to cover the pain points? May not be. And 90% chances are those features may not be required to meet the pain points or to provide them a solution to take care of the pain points. However, the competition is playing a dirty game by bringing in features and selling them a overkill product, which may not be required today. So identify, this is the homework you will have to do. Understand whether those features are really required or not. And if they are not required, your way is absolutely clear. And I can tell you very honestly, 90% of the time, those features may not be required. So it's in a way good for you that the competition can be killed very easily. So friends, I hope this session has been useful to you. I respect your time and I encourage you to buy my book called Art and Science of Sales. It covers the entire gamut of sales. Please go ahead and buy it. It's available on all the online platforms in print as well as ebook form. Till we meet again in our next video, I wish you all the very best. Take care of yourself and happy selling.